Reconciliation to me is more than a word. It's about action. It's about two people willing to come to the table to make amends. And in order for that to happen, you have to tell the truth about what happened so that it never happens again.
I think it's an opportunity for people who've been impacted by trauma and, let's say, bad government policies to actually share how it impacted them and to be part of the solution.
To me, reconciliation is an opportunity for non-Indigenous peoples in Canada to explore and learn more about the history of what has taken place and the oppression that Indigenous peoples have experienced, and then the inequities that are currently being experienced by Indigenous peoples in Canada.
For me, reconciliation is about accepting where you've gone wrong, standing up to that, and then making things right. Trying your endeavor best each day to make it right, and working with the people who you've wronged to make it right.
In order to achieve reconciliation, what that might look like is Indigenous people and non-Indigenous people that have settled here are living in some kind of harmony where Indigenous people are no longer ashamed. We don't feel we have to dim our light, that we can be who we are and do the things that we know fill our hearts and our spirits without the judgment of others.
That's uncomfortable for a lot of people, but in order to make sure that we move forward in a good way together, it's important for us to do that.
I think it's important to have a day or a month or a week available for some of these discussions, because if we don't use an actual calendar day, I think the time just goes by. And I think that's one of the things that Indigenous people in this country, in Canada, have been saying for many, many years, that they're tired of being studied to death and it's time for the dust to settle and to get on with it. And I think that's what reconciliation means to a lot of us.
To have a day where we're all coming together as a country to learn, to listen, to understand, it's only going to help take the weight off of Indigenous community members, but it's also going to help shift hearts and minds of Canadians to come around and know who we are and where we've been and where we want to go.
There's 94 calls to action that have been developed by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and my understanding is that we've only done a handful of them, and there's still so much more opportunity to progress in that area. I think across Canada there's industries and organizations as well as everyday Canadians that have to play a role.
I think what people need to remember is that reconciliation isn't just for Indigenous people to feel safe. When we're doing that work, we're decolonizing our society, we're decolonizing systems and structures that were built for us by someone else. And it's good to ask why those structures exist. It's good to look at things from a different lens instead of having everything sifted through a white lens, because I think it's safe to say that it doesn't work for everybody.
As an Indigenous communications professional, it's a really rewarding time to be involved in doing this work, and there's so much opportunity and progress, and it's exciting to be a part of that, but still recognizing that we have a long way to go.